Thomas, Thomas. Mum's gentle voice is echoing through my head. I can feel her hand over mine. I open my eyes to face her. She's smiling weakly. What were you doing, Thomas, before you fell? Before I fell? I whip my head around my bedroom. I'm lying on the comforting familiarity of my bed. Thomas, you weren't here for dinner. We were worried sick about you. You weren't answering my calls. And then, it's like you snuck into the house because, a while later, you were lying on the floor of your bedroom. Do you remember how it happened? How you broke your arm? How you cut it? I glanced to my bandaged arm and back to her. How did I get from the Reaper's lair back to my bedroom? And how long have I been passed out from Mum to have my arm put in a sling? I sit upright in the bed and venture into the hallway. I push open the door to Belle's bedroom as Mum follows me. She's kneeling on the carpet, pretending her Barbie doll is a doctor in a practice. Tommy, she whinges, we're in the middle of an operation, and you cannot be in theater with us. Sorry, Dr. Bell. I'll be 2 minutes, okay? She pouts her lip and releases a sigh. Fine. I enter the room and look at Belle. This is the same position she was sitting in when the Reaper had her on camera, meaning that the camera must be planted somewhere behind me. I turn around. Belle's bookshelf is the only thing there. I pull the books one by one from the shelf and shake them by their covers. Thomas, what are you doing? Mum, there's a camera somewhere in one of these books. I just need to find it. There was no camera to be found. After I ransacked her bookshelf twice, I uprooted the rest of her room in search for it. But it wasn't there. Right now, I'm in the kitchen, having a stern talking to from both Mum and Dad. Thomas, Mum says, it was a dream. You need to let it go. No, Mum, it wasn't, I argue. Dad comes closer to me. Watch your attitude, Thomas. Apologize to your mother right now, and don't you dare speak to her in that tone of voice again. I swear sometimes I hate my dad. Sorry, Mum, I mumble. But I'm telling you the truth. Where's the note then, Thomas? Dad asks. The note you say he left you. I hesitate. When I read it, I shoved it in my back pocket. No, Mum, you don't understand. This happened. He left me a note and told me to meet him. He said he'd kill all of you if I didn't. And then he knocked me out and brought me somewhere. He tied me to a chair, and he made me choose his next victim for Halloween. Mum's eyes widen. Thomas, you have to believe me. He gave me 3 choices. He showed me them through a camera. Belle was one of them, and so was Lucy, but I couldn't choose either of them. Thomas, she snaps. This isn't real. It is, I reply. I'll prove it to you. What? He had you on live stream from his laptop in your bedroom. He must have planted a camera. He's been watching you, Luke, and it makes me feel sick. I need to find the camera. And now I can feel myself rummaging through her drawer. She takes my hand gently. Thomas, there's no camera there. I've just been through my desk and organized it. I would have spotted it. No, there has to be. My parents think it was a nightmare, Luke, but it was too real. Thomas, maybe they're right. No, I cry. Please don't tell me you think I'm crazy too. She pulls me closer to her and wraps her arms around me. I don't think you're crazy, Thomas. Mum, I didn't fall in the bedroom, I say. I fell to the ground in a chair after the Grim Reaper took me and tied me to it. Mum's looking at me in utter perplexity. She looks concerned. Thomas, that's not possible. That must have been a dream. You know what the Reaper does to people, and you're unscathed compared to all his other victims. I close my eyes for a second. Could this have been a dream? I'm pondering that. No, it wasn't. It can't have been. Mum, I'm telling you the truth. It happened. It was too real to be a dream. A crease forms in her forehead. Nightmares always are. That's what makes them so scary, Thomas. It's not nonsense, I spit. I head towards the door and slam it closed. If I stay here a moment longer, there'll definitely be an explosive argument. Where are you going? Mom asks, Lucy's. Tilde, tilde, tilde. Symbolic separator for the break in the text. I rap on the door to Lucy's house. Tommy, what happened to your arm? We need to talk. I enter her home, and we proceed to her bedroom. Thomas, I'm sorry about telling your dad. That's not why I'm here. I found the Reaper. Her eyes widen. What? As I cry into her, I can feel her swallowing as she comforts me. It's going to be okay. As I'm hyperventilating into her jumper, I can feel my muscles starting to tense. They're tightening. My heart rate is increasing, and sweat is starting to roll down my face. It's starting again. The burning. The blazing hot burning in my face. Just like during his ritual at the fire. I'm panting for air. Thomas, Lucy says. Thomas, what's wrong? My eyes closed, I sink to her bedroom floor. Thomas, she screams. She crouches down, and I'm aware she's shaking me. But I can't respond. My eyes are closed as a series of haunting visions present themselves with vivid clarity in my mind. I can see him. Alex. He's in a landscape of darkness, down on his knees. Alex, I call. I stand up and reach into the pocket of my school trousers, ready to place my hand on the folded-up piece of paper. But it's not there. I check again and then pat my other pockets. Nothing. Okay, I don't have it. I must have lost it. Okay, Thomas, Dad says, raising his hand. I've heard enough of this. First, you hatch up some crazy plan to confront this killer. Next, you walk out of the house and don't tell anyone where you are. Then, you have a dream and refuse to accept it and upturn your sister's bedroom. Dad, I snap. It wasn't a dream. You have to believe me. He made me choose this year's victim. And then he cut my arm, took my blood, and told me I'd help free his soul or something. Nonsense, Thomas, he roars. Well, actually, he found me. Kept me in a dark room. Ended up breaking my arm and cutting it to take my blood. He said he had darkness he wanted to let out, and I could help him with that. And then he burned the container of our blood. Thomas, she interjects. Slow down. What do you mean? He took your blood. My breaths are unstable. I'm choking as I relive what he did. He said it'd help him release some of the darkness in his soul and would have me take it on. But before he did that, he made me choose this year's victim. I chose Mr. Blanchard. He's going to kill him, and my parents don't believe me. Thomas, she gulps. You chose Mr. Blanchard? I bow my head. He gave me 3 choices. You were one of them, Luke, and so was Belle. I couldn't let him hurt you or her. But he's probably watching us right now. He hasn't lifted his head. I don't think he heard me. Alex, I shout, louder this time. Still no response. It's like I'm here. I can see him, but I'm not present. He can't see me. And now, the Reaper is coming into sight. He's wearing the same mask. I still can't identify his face. And he's got a large knife in his hand. He's stalking towards Alex, who's still cowering on the floor. Please, please don't do this. I can't move. I can't come to his aid. I'm back in the chair again, and I'm helpless to stop what's coming. Stop, I shout. Don't hurt him. Kill me, not him. The Reaper raises the knife above Alex's doubled-over body and plunges the blade downwards. No, I cry. I force my eyes closed. I can't watch this anymore. I can hear the blade penetrating his skin over and over. The splatters of blood spraying out. His cries for his life. For mercy. That's a sound I'll never be able to forget. I open my eyes, and he's standing before me. The knife in his hand, He brings it to my arm. The cut is no longer there, but he's going to make a new one. He slowly draws it across my skin, and my blood flows out. Now, the fire, the burning, the tube of blood on the flame, the thick beads of sweat, the searing pain in my flesh. It's returned. Look what you did, Thomas. It's his voice. With the pain subsiding, I open my eyes and look down to the slump on the floor. The blade plunged into his back. Mr. Blanchard is lying on the floor in a pool of his blood. I'm sitting beside him now. The chair gone. The Reaper gone. I look up and jerk backwards suddenly. The Reaper's not gone. He's looking straight at me through a fragmented mirror. He's wearing the dark mask. I'm wearing it. And I have Mr. Blanchard's blood all over my hands and shirt. I hear a female voice screaming my name. I whip my head upwards and snap back into my surroundings. I'm still lying on the floor of Lucy's bedroom. Thomas, what just happened to you? I try ease my palpitating heartbeats as sweat continues to drip from my pores. I don't know, Luke. I weep. He killed Alex, and then Mr. Blanchard. Lucy jerks me upright from my jumper. Thomas, it's okay. You're with me now. You're safe. No, I sob. Luke, he's using my body some kind of a host. He's living in me. I'm connected to him. Whatever happened during that ritual with the fire and the blood, he's become part of me. I'm scared, Luke. I don't know what to do. Lucy's now looking at me with tears in her eyes. There's terror all over her face. She looks just like how I feel. I slip inside the house and tiptoe into the hall. The only light is in the kitchen. Belle must be in bed. It's probably just my parents in there now. I don't want to go in and face them right now, but I'm really thirsty and need some water. So I make my way to the door and push it open. Mom is sitting at the table with two men I don't recognize. Dad's propped against the wall, his expression vacant. Mom, what's going on? She looks down. Thomas, these two gentlemen are from Castle Rock Psychiatric Home. They've come to help you. Mom, I say, I don't need that kind of help. I'm not crazy. No, she says, but you're struggling. My phone conversation with Lucy proved that. I rang her a while after you stormed out, and she told me about your episode. Mom, please. You have to believe me. What I said about the Reaper is true. Mom is suppressing her tears, as am I. I dart my head to Dad. Dad, please tell them I don't need help. Thomas, Mom whispers. We called them. What? Mom, please. They're going to bring you to their hospital for a while. You're going to have some therapy sessions and have medication to help you get better. Mom, I'm not sick. Please. Dad nods his head at the two men, and they rise from the table. They're approaching me. I'm not going anywhere. One of them places their hand to me, and I shrug them off. Please, Mom. Dad, don't do this to me. Dad gives me a quick look. Take him and make sure he gets better. They tighten their grasp on me, and a sense of panic kicks in. They're going to take me away from my family, my friends, my life, everything. Mom, don't do this to me, please. I'm sorry, Thomas, she weeps. This is for your own good. She reaches out for me, and Dad places a firm hand on her shoulder. Honey, leave it, he whispers. The two men are now ushering me out onto the pathway. Mom and Dad standing in the doorway. Dad is looking down, and Mom is watching on with tears in her eyes as they widen the barrier of separation between us. All right, I hear a voice boom. Everyone line up. I step out onto the corridor and stumble into one of the other patients. Sorry, I mumble. He nods to dismiss my apology and scrambles towards the queue. I follow. There's a man at the head dishing out orders for us. All at the front are cowering to him. Line up straight. Did you not hear me? He's leaning his face threateningly close to the kid's. His face pulsing, he hisses at him. Lenny, I said get into the line. Prick, I think. I step out from the line, and I'm making my way to Lenny's aid. This guy should not get away with picking on him like he is. An outstretched hand grabs me by the arm gently. I turn to face the kid who I bumped into. Don't, he whispers. Trust me, you don't want to pick a fight with Mark, especially not on your first day. Just get back in the line. And no matter what he says, don't answer back and do what he tells you. I raise my eyebrow at him, and he nods fervently. I look back to Mark, who's making his way down the line, scrutinizing all the patients. I haven't even interacted with him, and I already hate him. He's a bully. He thinks he's above everyone else here, and has the right to treat them like dirt. Lenny is a prime example. Name, he says to a kid in the middle of the queue. I didn't hear his response. It came out as a bit of a mumble. I don't think Mark did either. What is your name? He demands. I look to the kid, who appears as though he's on the brink of tears. Matt, he says. Mark nods. Welcome to Castle Rock, Matty, he sneers. I can feel my muscles tensing. I hate this guy. I want to go up in his face and take him down a peg or two. I think the kid who stopped me is sensing this again. Don't do it, he tells me. Not only will you get on Mark's bad side, but everyone will hate you on your first day when time is taken off our recreational period for your behavior. I shake my head and release a sigh. Fine, I whisper. But if Mark does start on me, I won't hesitate to give back as good as I get. He's approaching me right now. Another newbie? What's your name? Thomas, I say, directing unwavering eye contact at him. He breaks it and stalks back to the front of the queue. Right, follow me. Breakfast is almost ready. I turn to the kid. Hey, I'm Thomas, I say. Cole, he says. Want to sit with me in the canteen? Sure, I say as we step inside. Cole takes a seat at one of the rear tables, and I sit opposite him. So, why are you here? What's your tragic sob story? He asks. I'd tell you, but you think I was crazy. I chuckle. Ironic, right? I wipe the tears from my face with my good arm and pick up the t-shirt. With a bit of difficulty, I strip my sweaty clothing from my body and pull on the fresh set. I look down to study the daily schedule. 6.15. Wake up call. 6.30. Breakfast. 7.00. Exercise. 7.45. Shower. 8.15. Social. Hour. 9.15. Therapy session and treatments. 10.30. Group. Gathering. 11.30. Recreation hour. Castle Rock. Thomas. Come on, rise and shine. I squint at the light from the narrow hallway. Aside from that, I'm engulfed in darkness. My muscles are aching, my body weary. What time is it? 6:15. Here's a change of clothes for today, the nurse whispers. Get dressed and come out into the hallway. Breakfast is in 15 minutes. She flicks on the light switch. It's almost blinding, my eyes only half open. I'm sleep deprived. By the time I got checked in here last night and assigned a room, it was a little after midnight, and I didn't get to sleep right away. I drifted in and out, and I think in total I must have gotten around 2 hours at most. I pull the sheets over my face. I can hear the nurse sighing. Thomas, come on. 12.30. Lunchtime. 1.30. Recreational therapy. 3.13. Administration of medications. 4.00. Visitation hour. 5.00. Dinner. 6.00. Group therapy. 7.00. Free time. 8.30. Night meds. 9.30. Room inspection 8.10.0. Oh, lights out. Okay, I grumble. I just need a minute. I'll just leave the daily schedule here for you. I can hear her heel knocking off the floor and her proceeding back down the lengthy corridor. Under the covers, I slowly open my eyes and take in the light seeping through the sheet. As my eyes slowly adjust to the brightness, I reluctantly pull the covers away and sit upright. I run my hands over my face and throw my legs over the edge of the bed. I take hold of the change of clothes the nurse left down. They're my clothes. My old navy blue t-shirt and a pair of my slacks. It's the outfit I wear most often. Mom must have picked it out and sent it for me. I still can't get over last night. I can't believe Mom and Dad did this to me. Sent me to be locked up here. I'm not crazy. I want to get out of here. I want to go back home. I already hate it here, and I haven't been here 12 hours. I'm scared. My smile at the comment drops and is replaced with a hopeless longing to get out of here. It's making my stomach turn. It churns even more as the canteen workers place 2 plates of fried breakfast in front of us. I look at it with a frown. Ordinarily, I'd eat it, but I'm really not feeling all that hungry. What I do feel is a mixture of inner sadness, anger, and fear. Mom and Dad have sent me away to this prison. The sign outside says it's a private psychiatric hospital, but that's merely to put the public's mind at rest. If the rest of the staff are in any way like Mark, this is going to be a living hell. And I'm not so sure I'll be able to continue to shut up and say nothing. It's now time for our therapy session. I'm completely dreading it. I want to confide in someone who'll listen to me about this whole predicament, and I know a psychiatrist will. But they're only interested in diagnosing me with a mental illness that I know I don't have and throwing a prescription at me. Any medication that they'll prescribe won't have the desired effect because I'm not sick. Each of us are assigned a doctor, and we're waiting outside their room. There's a handful of us in line to see Dr. Franklin. Cole has a different doctor, so I'm unacquainted with any of his other patients. But that Lenny guy is sitting at the other end of the queue. He's resting his elbows on his knees and rocking his leg up and down. He's keeping to himself, and none of the others around are so much as even acknowledging his existence. I feel bad for him because of that, on top of Mark picking on him earlier on. "Hey, Lenny, right?" I say, taking a seat beside him. I look down. What's the point? I know that he's already coming up with a list of possible mental illnesses I could have, and is trying to eliminate some of them. He thinks I need to recover from it. But there is no recovering. Part of him is living in me, and I'll never get rid of that. When I decided on Mr. Blanchard, I thought I could do something to stop it. I thought that maybe I could lurk around his house on Halloween and stop the Reaper before he could actually commit the murder. But it's Halloween tomorrow, and I'm stuck in here, helpless to do anything. Dr. Franklin is watching me intently, and it's making me uncomfortable. So I just continue. I nod. As he steps closer with the needle, I look away. He takes a seat beside me. I take a deep breath as I feel the needle going into my left arm. "All done," he says. "Thank you for cooperating, Thomas. I hate having to force medication on patients. I'll see you tomorrow morning to see if there's been any progress." "Thank you, doctor," I say. I'm irked that he, like everybody else, thinks I'm crazy, even though I know he's just doing his job. And I suppose if it was the other way around, I'd think I was crazy too. I'm just glad that I have a nice doctor. It makes this situation just a little bit easier. He nods as I stand up. "Thomas, there's no need for the formality. You can just call me Owen." I smile at him. "Thanks, Owen. See you tomorrow." He nods as I close the door over. Lenny is still sitting there. I step towards him. "Leave me alone, Thomas." "Look, Lenny, I just want to—" I swallow. "There's this murderer. Actually, he's a serial killer. Every Halloween, he comes to our town and he goes on a killing spree. Last year, he killed my friend and I wanted to catch him. But he had been stalking me, so he sent me a note telling me to meet him. When I came face to face with him, he knocked me out using some kind of drug, I explain. He tied me to a chair and made me choose one of this year's victims. And then I'm sorry, I swallow, looking down. Take your time, he says. He nods. Thank you, Thomas. For now, I'm going to give you a couple of tablets to take, and I'll be tracking your progress. Please don't be afraid to come to me at any time. I'm generally here all around the clock, and when I'm not, there's plenty of other doctors you can talk to. But hang on a minute. He opens his desk drawer and pulls out a fresh needle. I grimace at the length of it. Thomas, I hope you're okay with me giving you an injection now. If not, I apologize, but I'll have to get some help in making you have it. I take in a deep breath. I really don't want to have this done, but it's going to happen either by force or by me complying. I'd rather the latter option. Yeah, okay, I say. Just make it quick. I hate injections. He nods curtly. A couple of seconds, I promise. The door to Dr. Franklin's office swings open. Thomas Burton, he calls. I take a glance at Lenny and stand up. I've got to find out what he was talking about, so I'm going to both approach him again later and bring this exchange of words up in a conversation with my dad when he and Mum visit later on. So, Thomas, it's on your file that you had a very upsetting nightmare and some traumatizing visions. Do you want to tell me about those? He slowly takes a seat and gestures for me to sit opposite him. They're not just visions, I sigh. They're real. I know everybody else has thought so, and you're probably thinking it too, but I'm not delusional. And I didn't have a nightmare. It actually happened. What happened? He asks. Thomas, you ready for group gathering? Cole asks. I turn to face him. It's not for another half an hour. Yeah, but we've got to get a good seat. Seeing as you and the other newbie, Matt will be the focus of the group today, he smirks. Great, I roll my eyes. I glance at Lenny again, and Cole eyes me intently. You okay? Yeah, I say, moving away from Lenny. I will approach him later when I get the opportunity to get him alone. For some reason, I think this conversation needs to be guarded with utmost secrecy. I don't want anyone else to overhear it, including Cole. I've only met him this morning, and while he seems like a sound person overall, I just don't want to get too close to anybody yet. I nod painfully, trying desperately to regain a sense of composure. Then he told me that I could free his soul. He said he could fragment part of his soul in my body by taking some of my blood. He cut my arm and filled a tube with it. He then poured in some of his own blood and mixed it together. Then he threw it onto a fire, and I could feel my muscles tightening. My body started reaching a sweltering temperature. It felt like my skin was physically on fire. The pain was unbearable. I genuinely felt like I was going to die. And I think I passed out, because when I woke up, I was back in my bedroom. It was like I had woken up from a nightmare. Except I didn't. This definitely happened. He nods. Okay, tell me about the vision you had. Yes, that's me, he mumbles. I smile at him. I know who you are, he states, and I'd rather you'd stay away from me. I frown. What do you mean? Look, I'm just trying to. Don't act like you're this good-natured guy who just wants to be everyone's friend. You're no better than your dad, so stop pretending to be. You're only fooling yourself. I raise my eyebrow. What exactly do you mean by that? My dad's got a lot of secrets, he interjects. Maybe at your visiting slot, you could ask him all about it. What are you talking about? I was with my girlfriend. and I sort of collapsed. I didn't fall unconscious. I could still hear her voice, but I couldn't focus on anything but what I could see in my mind. First of all, my friend who was killed, he was in front of me. I called him, but I don't think he could see me. And then the Reaper approached him with the knife. I couldn't help him because I was back in the chair, tied up. So I closed my eyes because I didn't want to see it. Then the thing happened again, with the blood and the fire. And that burning sensation came back. Then I could see myself in a mirror, wearing the Reaper's mask, and I looked down. The guy I chose as his next victim was lying in front of me. I had his blood all over my hands and shirt, and the Reaper was gone. I gulp. It was like I had turned into the Reaper and I had killed him. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like he's living in me, and my body is connected to his soul somehow. Thomas, it's not that he didn't want to come. He had just had to work, I say. How many times is he going to use that excuse to hide behind the fact that I'm an embarrassment to him? Thomas, don't say that. He loves you. If he did, he'd be here. My dad doesn't love me. In fact, he doesn't even care about me. All he is an egomaniac obsessed with his own image. He has no regard for anything else. That much is obvious to me, and there's no point trying to sugarcoat that truth anymore. I'm with Lenny on this much. I'm starting to think he's got some skeletons in his closet. Belle is bounding back towards us, a mint crisp Cadbury's bar in her hand. I stop this conversation dead and smile at her. Cole sticks his head around the door. I quickly wipe my eyes dry, but it's too late. He's already seen it. Thomas, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to barge in. Are you okay? Yeah, I lie. It's okay. You can come in if you want. He nods and closes the door over. I actually came to give you something. I look up as he reaches into his pocket and produces a mobile phone. As you know, we're not supposed to have phones, but I managed to sneak this one in, so don't get caught or they'll confiscate it. Give your girlfriend a call. He stands up and proceeds towards the door. Cole, I say. He turns back around. Yeah? Thanks, I utter. It's a family portrait, she tells me. I look to the scribbled picture. I smile at her. It's very good, thank you. Tommy, why are you in hospital? Are you okay? Mom tenses up and shoots me a warning look. I wrap my arms around Belle. Hey, yeah, I'm fine. I'll be out soon, because there's nothing really wrong with me, I tell her, looking Mum in the eye over her shoulder to emphasize my point. Mum swallows and looks away. Belle, she says, pulling a pound coin from her purse. Why don't you go buy yourself a bar of chocolate? Okay, she squeals excitedly, taking the pound. Thanks, Mummy. Mum smiles weakly at me. How are you? Do you care? I ask. It's our free time slot. I'm sitting in the lounge with Cole and the other new kid, Matt. We're playing an old deck of cards. There's not much else to do. The television is on the blink, and obviously, our phones have been confiscated. Life in here is miserable. I want to talk to Lucy and Andrew. I want to be with them right now. I want to be back in Eventide. The feeling of homesickness residing in me in this moment is overwhelming. It's all I can think about. Hey, is Thomas home? Sorry, I said, placing my cards down on the table. I need some time alone. I get up and head towards my room. I take a seat on the bed, the metal frame creaking. I look to Belle's picture on the bedside locker and look around the dismal, boxy room. I rest my face in my hands and let it out. The build-up of tears. I want to go home. I can't stand this place anymore. I miss Belle. I miss Mum, Lucy, Andrew. And as much of a prick as he is, I miss my dad. I want to be back with all of them. I want my life back. We're seriously not allowed our phones? I ask. No, Cole deadpans. They're confiscated from all of us upon arrival and given back as we're discharged. Apparently, they inhibit our troubled minds from clearing and serve as distraction, which steers us from our road to recovery. That's ridiculous. I know, he sighs. There is a phone at reception that you can use during free time, but you're allowed a maximum of 1 call per day and cannot spend any longer than 5 minutes. Not only that, but the nosy receptionist and the amount of doctors walking by make it impossible to have a private conversation with anyone. Also, I'm pretty sure the phone is bugged, so they can keep tabs on all of us. I shake my head. I just need to talk to Lucy, I mutter. Oh, Lucy, he teases. Who's she? I'm sorry, I say. It's fine, he replies. I'm not that close to them anyway. But I just want to get out of here, you know. I nod. The feeling's mutual. It's now visitation hour. I can see Mum coming towards me with Belle. I'm delighted to see them. But my heart sinks slightly when I realize that Dad isn't accompanying them. Hey, I greet Belle. She crashes into my side, gripping me in a tight hug. I place my hand to her head and ruffle her hair playfully. I drew you a picture, Tommy. With a flick of her wrist, she produces a sheet of paper, and I catch it. Mum smiles at me as she and Belle take a seat across from me. Oh, thanks, Belle. I'll stick this up in my room. Thomas, of course I do. That's why. Don't tell me you sent me here because you cared. You just don't want to deal with having a problematic son, so you just send him away the first chance you get. Thomas, that's not true. Oh no, sorry, Mum, I say. I mean, Dad can't deal with it. Nor does he want to. But you don't want to challenge him, because you're a spineless housewife who doesn't want to be the mayor's ex-wife. Thomas, that's not true. We made this decision together. Then counteract it, Mum. Get me out of here, because I'm not crazy. Well, not quite. But the majority of the others in here are. And if I stay here any longer, I'm going to be worse than I was when I came in here. Dad couldn't even have been bothered to put aside an hour to see me, so I don't care about his opinion. Anytime, he smiles. Call a few people if you want. He nods and steps out of the room, giving me the privacy to make a phone call. Punch in Lucy's number with a smile spreading across my face. She's my girlfriend, but I don't think she even knows I'm here. And my parents being my parents, I doubt that they've even told her. What? Why? I look down. My dad's kind of the mayor of my town, and him having a mental wreck for a son wouldn't exactly boost his reputation in the eyes of the locals. I don't think. Thomas, I'm so sorry. That's really shit. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, how about you? You never told me why you're here. He looks away. I've been here on and off since I was 14. The last time I was admitted, I was 16. I've got bipolar. Every time I leave, I end up back in a state again. So my parents just thought they'd leave me for a bit longer this time. And 2 years later, I'm still here. Lucy is coming to see me during today's visiting slot. This is probably why I feel so uplifted today. I don't feel as groggy as I did yesterday. I can't wait to see her. But I feel that today is going to be really slow while I'm willing for visitation hour to come around. Right now, it's only breakfast time. I'm sitting with Cole and Matt again. Cole's stuffing his face with another slice of toast. I look at him and smirk. What? He says, I'm hungry. I sigh in amusement. Nothing. Ready for the gym? I ask. The corners of Matt's mouth turn up into an amused grin. He looks to Cole, who smirks back. I dart a series of wary glances between them. What? I storm out of the cafeteria as he addresses everyone else. What are you all looking at? He roars. Get back to eating. Your exercise slot is in 10 minutes. You can't be serious, I say. It's called appropriate consequences, Mark sneers. Your rights to visitation are hereby revoked for 2 days, both of you. I turn to Lenny, who looks down. But I object. My girlfriend. ***, no buts, Burton. For the next 2 days, while everybody else is with their visitors, you two will be helping the catering staff to prepare dinner for every patient after visitation hour. And you will also be on cleanup duty afterwards. Leading on from that, your free time slot will be reduced to a half an hour. And for the other hour, you will help the caretakers in their cleaning duties around the building. I don't know why I ever considered standing up for this guy. He's a prick. The anger bubbling from within me is overtaking me. I know I probably shouldn't feel this vexed, as it is just a bit of orange juice, but he has just humiliated me in front of everybody. And I don't endorse the use of violence, but I'm not letting him walk over me and have everyone sitting here label me as a pushover. More than anything, it was the comment he passed about my dad not showing up that pissed me off the most. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm lunging forward right now, taking a swing at his face with my clenched fist. I'm on top of him, striking him over and over with my fist. Don't fucking pass judgments when you have no idea what you're talking about. Thomas, stop, Cole says. Everybody in the canteen is watching on in what I describe as awe as my fist plummets his face again. I look to Cole. Stay out of this. This is my fight. I take a seat on a bench in the changing room as I pull my trainers on. And now, I want to know why you hate me and my father so much. He looks down. I'm sorry for what went down in the canteen. I don't hate you. What I did, that was me expressing my hatred for your dad, not you. And I guess, Thomas, as cringe-worthy as it sounds, I envy you. You're the kind of person I've always wanted to be. His head is bowed, his eyes sunken slightly. He looks really troubled and sad. Like the version of Lenny I perceived when I first saw him. The one I felt sympathy. Thomas just can't wait to see Lucy, Cole teases. Shut up, I say, my face turning pink. Lenny is coming our way with his breakfast tray. I didn't see him at all yesterday, after our brief encounter. I really want to talk to him about this again, but there hasn't yet been the opportunity. I never get to approach him while I'm by myself, and there's nobody else around. I'm hoping that later I'll get the chance. I desperately want to know what he meant about my dad. Thomas, Cole says. I direct my focus back to him and Matt. Sorry, I say. Cole glimpses to Lenny, who's still making his way in our direction. What's up with you and him? No, I purr. It's just a request. You see, when I'm pissed off, I tend to let things slip. And I'm sure you wouldn't like for me to let it slip just how you intimidate all the other patients in the hospital with your hostile demeanor. I mean, if that got out, that could cost you your job. And what a worse person to discover it than my dad, the mayor of Eventide. Because I find that when he's delivering speeches to my townspeople, he can be very persuasive in getting the public on side with him. And I can guarantee you that you really don't want to piss him off. Mark leans backwards and sinks back into his chair. What are you saying? You want me to let you off the hook, because I can't do that. Rule breakers need to be made an example of. Fair enough, I say. But scratch off preparing breakfasts and getting up earlier off my list of punishments, and this can stay between us. Lenny scoffs as Mark nods. Fine, nothing, I reply. Cole narrows his eyes suspiciously. Okay, anyway, I jump up from my seat as the cold liquid drips down my face and neck from the cup of orange juice Lenny has just thrown over me. What the hell, Lenny? Cole is looking down, trying as hard as he can to suppress bursting out into a fit of laughter. He's forcing the corners of his lips to turn downwards into a frown. Matt is looking away and biting his lip. I presume he's also trying desperately hard not to laugh. I think if I was them, I'd probably be the same. But right now, I'm fueled with a burning sense of exasperation. I bring my flushing face to face Lenny's. What was that for? Everybody in the canteen has their gazes fixed on us. Sorry, Lenny smirks. Asterisk, asterisk. That was meant for your dad. Do pass it on to him for me, won't you? That's if you get the chance to, of course. Because he didn't show up to your visiting slot last night, did he? It's because he doesn't care enough, if you ask me. Come on, I say. That's not fi. Mark stands up and leans his face closer to mine. Life's not fair, Thomas, he hisses. On top of that, you two will also be helping the catering staff in preparing breakfasts for the next 2 days, meaning your wake-up calls will be at 5:30. I inhale sharply as I look at him. You got a problem with that, Burton? Because I can bring it back to 5:15. I can't believe this. You're going to be the one with the problem, Mark, if you do that. Is that a threat, Burton? I glance to Lenny, and Lenny too. He looks me in the eye, and I gaze back at him, my eyebrow raised. Okay, he says. But if you get involved in any such business again, I won't hesitate to have you serve that punishment next time. Agreed, I smile, admittedly. Behind the smile, I'm really irked that my plan on seeing Lucy later on has been thrown out the window. But I guess I can see her. It'll just be in 2 days' time. He nods. You're dismissed. Go join the others at the gym. Why did you get my punishment reduced? Lenny demands. Because, despite what you may think, I'm not like my father. I wince and slide to the floor. Asshole. He's just kneed me in the nuts. I lean forward on my knees, and he comes running at me. Now he's leaning over me, and there's a punch coming my way. I dodge it, and his fist smashes into the floor. I shove him off and grab his shirt. Thomas, come on, enough, Cole calls. He's grabbing me from behind and pulling me to my feet. Aided by Matt Dot as I look down to Lenny lying on the floor, I can feel the anger fading. What did I just do? I just attacked the guy. His nose is streaming blood. My arms are becoming less tense, a sense of self-reproach replacing my rage. I turn back to my audience, all of whom are staring at me. Show's over, I snap. Get back to whatever you were doing. Burton calls Mark Dot great, I think. All I need right now. I turn to face him. Go to your room and get yourself cleaned up. I'll be talking to you in a few moments. Lenny, he barks. Get to the nurse's office now. I was in the same school as you for a year, before I was sent here, when I was 12. My eyes widen. You were sent here when we were 12? That means you've been here for 6 years, he nods. Too long. But I'm not getting out of here ever, Thomas. And it's because of your dad. He kind of paid my medical expenses to be admitted here. They were treating me for PTSD, and they still tell me I haven't recovered. But I can't return to Eventide because everyone thinks I'm dead. My parents included. What? I say, why do they think that? Because your dad made sure of it. I nearly was dead, but I was saved. Of course, you know, Lenny's shoulders tense. He shivers slightly. You know the Grim Reaper, he whispers. I nod. Yeah, well, about 6 years ago, I was one of his victims. Except he didn't quite succeed with me. I survived. And your dad admitted me here. He said it was to keep me safe and to have me recover from the trauma of it. But I don't believe that anymore, Thomas. I swallow. Lenny, I whisper. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. He nods painfully. Thanks. I know I shouldn't have taken it out on you, but I'm just so angry. My whole life was taken away from me. If it makes you feel any better, I say. My dad kind of did the same thing to me, and he's my dad. I know how you feel. The trauma is never going to go away. It will stay with me forever, what happened that night. I've encountered the Reaper too, I say. And I understand, because I'll never forget it either. You can talk about it if you want. I've found it hard to discuss with anyone else, because they all think I'm crazy. So, I kind of know what you're going through. Thanks, he swallows. That night 6 years ago, he stabbed me 4 times. I begged him to stop, but he leaned over me with a mask on his face and kept going. A teardrop rolls down the side of Lenny's face. It's like he was getting off from it. He did it as slowly as he possibly could, watching on as I screamed and cried for his mercy. Mercy he didn't give. I remember just wishing I'd die, and that the pain would end, but it never did. The whole time he was leaning over me, I couldn't help but notice his eyes. I'll never forget his eyes. I look at him with tears in my eyes as he continues. It's not just me who found his eyes striking. I know I'll also never forget them. His deep brown eyes. I still dream about it every night, and it always ends with me looking into his eyes. My eyes widen. Brown eyes? I gasp. You're sure? He nods fervently. 100% sure. They were brown. There's no mistaking that. My heart is beating really hard. I swallow. I'm sorry, I gulp. I've got to go. I dash from the room and into the toilet. I fling open one of the cubicle doors and slam it closed. Sinking down to the dismal bathroom floor, I descend into a fit of hyperventilation. If the Reaper's eyes are brown, and who was the man I encountered? His eyes were blue. His eyes were definitely blue. That's one detail I'm completely sure of. Cole, Matt and I are out behind the building. We're tossing an old tatty basketball among ourselves and shooting for the rusty hoop. What was that about? What went down between you and Lenny? Matt asks. I sigh as I toss the ball to him. It was nothing. We've sorted it out. We're okay now. Matt nods. I heard Mark came down pretty hard on you. I catch the ball in the palm of my good arm and fling it in Cole's direction. Yeah, I'll be helping cook dinner tonight and tomorrow. I've got cleaning duties too, and my visits for the next 2 days are revoked. A scowl is spreading across Cole's face. I swear, sometimes Mark thinks he works in a prison, not a mental institution. I know, I say. I hate him. But he had more severe plans in mind. I managed to convince him to make it a bit less harsh. How? Matt asks. Just a little bit of simple negotiation. I smirk. Okay, that was a lie, admittedly. I did kind of threaten him into lessening the punishment, but I don't regret it. It did Mark no harm to meet his match. And hopefully, I reinforced the vibe that he's not going to intimidate me, like he does with the majority of the other patients. He's such an asshole to Matt, too, and if he continues, I'll continue to use my dad as a way to keep off all our backs. By what Cole has told me about him, he's gotten away with far too much reprehensible behavior for far too long. Cole clears his throat and chuckles. Yeah, right? Thomas must be some kind of wizard. What spell do you have him under? Because he comes down on everybody who breaks the rules like a ton of bricks. What's your trick? I smile coyly at him and turn my focus to the hoop. For the entire time we've been out here, I haven't managed to score one hoop. That's probably owing to the fact that I can't use my right arm. I narrow my eyes as I launch it through the air with a flick of my wrist. It skims along the edge of the hoop and bounces off the backboard. It rebounds and falls to the ground. I still haven't gotten it, but I was close enough this time. Cole sighs as he realizes I'm not going to answer his question. Well, whatever you did, I'm glad of, because Mark wasn't wearing his usual sneer this morning after breakfast. It took about an hour for it to come back. Maybe you could try it more often. Yeah, I sigh. Maybe. One thought I still haven't managed to shake from my head is the whole prospect of Lenny's assailant not bearing the same identity as mine. I guess I'm still trying to figure how that can be. I'm beginning to entertain the possibility that maybe this whole thing was just a nightmare. Maybe my parents are right. Maybe I am losing it and just imagined my encounter with the Reaper. Social hour is almost over. Next, I have my therapy session with Owen. I know we're only throwing a ball around, but I don't want to leave this. If I had a choice, I'd hang around with Cole and Nat all day. As cringe-worthy as it sounds, given that I've known them little over a day, I feel like they're making staying in this place at least bearable. Cole chucks the ball to Matt, and as he looks at me, I can feel my awareness of my surroundings beginning to dwindle. Thomas, I can hear. A low voice that's really familiar to me. Help me, please. Thomas, Cole says. You okay? I look up at him. His face is fizzling out of my sight and is replaced by a different setting altogether. I'm standing in the center of a kitchen. It looks familiar to me. I gasp when I realize why. It's the same kitchen I saw Mr. Blanchard roaming about the night the Reaper showed me him on his laptop. Mr. Blanchard is sitting on his kitchen chair, begging for mercy as the Reaper presses a large knife to his throat. Thomas, please help me. The Reaper looks me in the eye. Except it's not the Reaper. It's the same guy I encountered before, the one with the piercing blue eyes, but it's not the Reaper. Thomas, he says, you can still save him. You can change your mind. It's not Halloween night. Hand over Lucy or Annabelle, and I'll release him. I blink away tears as Mr. Blanchard looks to me with pleading desperation. Don't hurt him, I say. Please, are you going to sacrifice one of the others? I'm so sorry, Mr. Blanchard. Mr. Blanchard's cries are cut short, following the slicing sound of the blade against his skin. I sob as everything falls silent. Thomas, Cole shouts. I open my eyes and face him, the familiar sense of terror seeping through every fiber of my being. My entire body is trembling, my clothes yet again soaked in my own sweat. I dart my eyes around the yard as he eyes me with concern. Here, sit down, he says, guiding me to the bench. He whips his head around to face Matt. Go get him some water. And find Dr. Franklin. Matt nods and rushes inside. Thomas, Cole utters. Talk to me. What happened? I don't know, I tremble. I don't know what's happening to me, Cole. Cole pulls me closer to him and wraps his arms around me. Here, your doctor's coming. You're going to be okay. Thomas, Owen says. Are you all right? No, I cry. He nods. Would you two mind if I speak to Thomas privately? Cole takes Matt by the arm, and they proceed inside together. Owen takes a seat beside me. Talk to me, Thomas. What happened? I look to him with tears in my eyes. I think my parents are right. I think I've lost it. I don't know what's happening, and I don't know how to make it go away. Please help me. Owen nods. Come inside with me. We'll have your appointment a few minutes early this morning.